Good day, everyone, and a belated Happy New Year to you all. I apologize for not being around for a while, but I've had health issues as well as technical ones, so I apologize for that. Today's topic is about shipbuilding in science fiction. This is part of my ongoing world building series, and I must say one of the most important ones as of yet. The reason is because most people identify and connect science fiction with ships, with flying saucers, with massive space battles. So it's very important for the science fiction writer slash movie maker to craft good ships and vehicles that would add to the realism and inner to the consistency and inner logic of the world you've created. I'll start with this quote that I like very much from Jules Verne. Nature's creative power is far beyond man's instinct of destruction. That being said, I'll explain to you why I've thought about shipbuilding that way I've had with Green Legion. Many of you, the ones who have read my other blog posts or have had the opportunity to read about Dr. Bruce's log, which is my other blog that I'm currently writing, have identified my love for nature, for nature-inspired architecture and infrastructure. So I'll explain to you two things that I've discovered that I've identified from reading and watching science fiction. By shipbuilding, designers take into account, well, design and function. Design involves both aesthetics and must represent or somehow reflect your main theme. In my case, my main theme is healing and renewal. So I had to come up with forms, with architecture that resembled my main theme, and the thing that most resembled that is nature. Plants, animals, even microorganisms. I've been inspired by diatoms. Diatoms are microalgae that are involved with silicon cycling in water, and they have very beautiful shapes and sizes, and I don't know that they also have a very important ecological role in nature. So I kind of went that way when designing most Caldorian ships. Also, one must take into account the aspect of functionality. It is the result of a ship's design. If your ship looks like a leaf, like a maple leaf, then it must somehow inside must somehow resemble or be somehow related to the metabolism of a leaf. I think about photosynthesis. I think about chloroplasts, which are the plant cell structures that are capable of doing photosynthesis, which is this natural process whereby carbon dioxide is turned into oxygen. So when I think about functionality, I think about energy supply. I think about communications. I think about propulsion, such things. In my case, it somehow must reflect the inner, the outer structure of the ship. Um, um, in my case, if my ships look like something out of nature, inspired by nature, then if I think about energy, then this energy must be renewable energy. So I got my engines for the ships out of microorganisms, microbial metabolism. There's a technology called microbial fuel cells. Well, I changed that to symbiont fuel cells, and they work relatively similar to the human developed microbial fuel cells, but then there are other components that enable the ship to fly at close to light speed. So I had to take what is already accepted by the scientific community and then extrapolate that to outer space. What would more advanced civilizations, how would they go about energy? Um, there's I must differentiate between what's the norm and what I've been trying to develop over the years. You have industrial design, which is what's very en vogue right now in science fiction, and then you have natural design, which is my way of thinking. With industrial design, you have as the basis the concept of used space. This is a concept developed by a Japanese filmmaker Akira Kurosawa and was further developed by George Lucas for Star Wars and by other filmmakers. The concept of used space denotes grittiness in a given environment, things that have to be battered up, unclean, and messy. Think about the Millennium Falcon. The ship doesn't look like a super, state-of-the-art ship. It looks more like a battered up tow truck or I don't know, garbage truck. Han Solo constantly has to repair the ship, upgrade it, because it always has malfunctioning problems. So from a human's point of view, that's much more relatable. That's something that's more ethereal, more perfect. And that's one of the main reasons why movies like Star Wars or Aliens have been so successful, because people can relate more to this imperfection. Unfortunately, since I write science fiction, I also want to step things up a notch to make people believe that things can get better. So for me, natural design is much more the future. It's more realistic when one transports itself into the future. If you read about what UFO contactees say about technology, about UFO technology, then you'll be surprised to see that most UFO technology relies upon renewable energy, upon nature-inspired design, upon biomimetism. Those are concepts that are only constrained to the field of ecology, of environmental science. So I see a trend in the future, hopefully for this more of this nature-inspired design in shipbuilding for science fiction. I'll close with this statement. Good design and functionality are essential to ensure for inner logic and consistency in world building. It conveys not only a sense of realism, but also of timeless reality. This will ensure for a satisfactory experience in your audience, reading experience in your audience. So with that, I'm closing um, this this topic for today. I wish you a pleasant weekend, and hopefully I'll see you later. Bye bye.